our dear listeners. Thank you for connecting once again to our podcast, LadyHeard. I'm Silvia, and today I will be your host. Thank you to my ladies Cegolene and Schaida, who will be sharing their experiences today about friendships and adulthood. Say hi, ladies!
Hi!
First, let's contextualize what adulthood means. Back to the pandemic times, I was seeing this word adulting a lot. Adulting and adulthood are two words with the same root, but they have different meanings. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, adulthood is the period in the human lifespan in which full physical and intellectual maturity have been attained, and it should start at the age of 18. Adulting is the practical version of what is considered being an adult. Have a stable job, a property of your own, paying bills and or mortgage, being able to cook or buy yourself meals and do the laundry without your parents' help, and also being able to spend money on leisure activities such as traveling, arts and crafts, and other personal investments. In short, being fully independent financially and practically. Now, we all know that nowadays, even though you legally become an adult in a lot of countries at 18, the global crises that have been happening have shifted this phase to a much later age, such as 25 or 27. Biology says that the prefrontal cortex fully develops at 25, and that's when your gray matter starts to function differently from before, and you are actually considered mature. Becoming an adult, then, comes with changes in personality, clothing style, mentality, and friends. Yes, you will not be friends with the same people throughout your life. I mean, it might happen, but for millennials and Gen Z, it seems to be quite a rare experience. So, ladies, time to be heard. From where are your oldest friends, and when and where did you meet? Who starts?
I can start. So my oldest friends are the ones I made during my dance classes when I was a ballerina back in my hometown in the south of Brazil. And well, recently I turned 30. So we're probably talking about a 25-year-old friendships, 26-year-old friendships.
Oh, that's a long time
Yeah, that's
to
quite
be
a lot.
friends with someone. That's great,
quite a
though.
lot. Yeah.
Happy you maintain the contact throughout all these 25 years.
Thanks to social
Yeah.
media, because otherwise, I mean, we don't see each other that often.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
What about you, Sego?
I think it was from like middle school, probably, but I haven't been in contact much. We all have our life. A lot of them have kids now, so they're really, really busy. So yeah, we met like in middle school and we did horse riding together. So we had school and horse riding in common, and so we got closer that way.
That's cool. I'm happy that you both, actually, in your cases, you connected like through a common interest, no?
Yeah.
Like for you was dancing, for you was horse riding. That's really cool. Yeah, that you managed to form a friendship from there. For me, one of my oldest friends is from a summer holiday, literally. Some are from middle school, and another one is from when I was at, I think, 7 or 8 years old. I can't remember right now when we exactly met with the last one, but I do know that we have met on and off 3 different times in our lives, and we have been more consistently friends since approximately the age of 17. How did your friendship start, ladies? And what do you appreciate the most about your friends?
I think it's kind of weird, but we had so stuff in common, but they were like just there, and we still each other often, and so we kind of start to like each other. I don't know how to explain further how we became friends. It was so much easier making friends when you were kids than when you are now.
Oh my god,
Yeah. And what did I like about them? I just like them. I like how it was easy when I was younger. Now I feel like it's harder to be friend and to keep this contact because we don't see each other as often that we were seeing each other literally during the week at school and during the weekend. So we had a lot of contact, and I feel like it's harder now to keep the friendship going because we are so busy. But so I liked how easy it was, and they were always there for me, and I loved like during the summer doing camping together in our garden, and yeah, it was just great fun to be, and I kind of miss that time where it was easier to be friends, and we didn't have all these responsibilities, and we just could find time to be together.
Yeah, so nostalgia kicks in
Yeah,
a bit
yeah.
for you when you think of this friendship. Yeah,
Yeah,
I see.
exactly.
And yeah, it is. I find it also true that it was way easier like to approach other kids when you were a kid too, because you were just like, hey, do you want to play together? And then they were like, sure or no. Like some people
It's so
were
much
no.
easier.
But it was such a simple question, and then you would just play together. So yeah, I understand
And you
your
will see each
feelings in
other
this
every
sense.
day. I think that's also the
Yeah,
contact will make it easier. Now we can have like to, when can we see each other? Well, in 40 business day we can see each other 3 times.
yeah. Like let me check my agenda. Literally, yeah. What about you, Schaida?
Oh gosh, I can't really walk you through the beginning of my oldest friendships because not even I remember what happened. But I believe that from the moment you start seeing someone regularly, in my case, taking dance classes, and on the top of that, there is a reciprocated, perhaps even unconscious willingness to get to know each other. You click, you establish a connection, and slowly you kind of bond deeper. And what I appreciate the most about those friendships is that they survived time, because I don't go back home as often as I would like to. Distance, because I moved out, they moved out. The pandemic, reason why I stayed many years without going back home, without seeing my family, my friends. And also, something that we cannot forget, professional and personal growth, because you can outgrow friends, so you can see a misalignment in your compass of values. I mean, people change, and they change their mind too. I think it's human nature. So having someone who got to know you, embraced and loved unconditionally every single version of you, it is special, it's rare, and it is as challenging as it is beautiful. Because, just to give an example, I stayed over 6 years without seeing my best friend, and we don't talk every day. But when we reunite, it feels like time has never gone by, you see?
That's really a profound friendship that you have with your best friend. Really, like
Yeah.
I know that, like especially like we're talking about continents here. Like we're not talking about just countries.
Exactly.
Like so
There's no
it's-
Ryanair 2 hours and I'm seeing you.
There's
It
no
doesn't work like
Ryanair
that.
here. There's no like, oh yeah, I can call you and we are like at least, I don't know, 1 hour behind or ahead. No, it's like way more hours. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that your friends like loved and accepted unconditional like each version of you, which is not something that is to be taken for granted, because as you said, people evolve and change, and like some friendships won't stay the same. But if you are determined and willing to, let's say, upskill yourself to the version of the friend, or like, it goes both ways. I think that would help you like sustain the friendship for a longer period of time, and like reach like milestones like 25 years, which is quite it's quite an accomplishment. I think like you should celebrate with a travel together, like once you have the chance to organize it, because it's like a wedding celebration, the 25 years anniversary. I think it should be celebrated also with friends. Well, for me, I mean, for the school friends ones, of course it's easy. We were like Sego, like in the same friends group, and we kept being in touch over the years, because I mean we were like literally sharing the classroom environment every day, or like at least 5 or 6 days a week, and we were often hanging out on one-on-one. And with one of my friends, I'm her unofficial auntie of her daughter, which like turned 2 this year. So, and I'm like, and yeah, and I constantly check how is my niece going, every phase of her growth, although I'm not physically there at the moment. With another friend, we didn't talk actually with a couple of years in high school, due to a very stupid misunderstanding. Like, like growing up sometimes gets difficult, especially like when puberty, adolescence, yes, exactly, that period of time is like the most confusing one. But we later reconnected when we were doing university, and we haven't been separated since. I think like we are going through our shift period of time now again, but I think we, despite our identities evolve, we are still like very fond of each other. So that's why I appreciate their investment and like commitment to continue this friendship even in this new phase. With my summer holiday friend, we were literally so lucky. We were like 12, and we're the only 2 kids in this farmhouse in Tuscany. So we bonded quickly when she invited me to have dinner in her place. I ate tomatoes for the first time because I didn't want to be impolite, and because I didn't have yet a personal phone at 12. Like the famous Nokia's 3310 was not something I could ask my parents yet. So we were occasionally writing text messages to each other, and later calling on the landline quite frequently, because even a text message back then could make all your credit wipe away. Like they were gone. It was completely gone. Since she was living in another region in Italy and we were minors, this was our only way of staying in touch. Now we have like literally 3 hours calls on WhatsApp or normal call every now and then. But when we do, we talk about so many things, and it's honestly great. Like I've been having the last call with her, like I think a couple of weeks ago, and like it was, or even more, but yeah, we stayed literally 3 hours. I was like on a train again, hoping to meet other people in another location here in Spain. But yeah, like I remember like leaving, like starting the call in the house, going out of the house, getting in the train. The train was moving and we were still on the phone call, and I was like, I love this girl. Lastly, with a friend that I'm not remembering which age we exactly met, we were doing sports together. So same to Schaida, like with the ballerina. And first it was artistic gymnastics when we were probably 7 or 8, and later it was more volleyball at 12. I remember she invited me for her birthday when we were 12. And then we were more in touch because of a common friend had from the volleyball team. But because I had strict parents, I could not go out with my friends alone until I was probably 15 or 16. So we met again when I was 17, and we have been consistently meeting since. And I still thank technology and phones for existing, because otherwise it would have been impossible. Like I do relate to Shaida's experience that without social media or like technology, like we wouldn't be here probably. When it comes to the appreciation part, as my oldest friends that I have, and more generally why I do appreciate them and having some friends in my life, is because they were consistently present and supportive. I mean, the last friendship that I mentioned told me one time years ago as a joke, we do not endorse physical violence here at all, that she would slap one of my crushes because she was being mean to me. And another one jokingly said she missed the train. And it brings you a laugh in the moment, but also shows you that they care about you and your feelings, which is something that in friendships it doesn't come as an easy thought. Like I think we take it a lot for granted, as Schaida was mentioning. I want to tackle another side of friendship, which is, did you have a friend that you lost through the years and that you regret losing?
That I regret losing? Not that I recall. So, and I'm gonna explain, because usually when a friendship ends, it can mean there was a reciprocated interest in letting it fall apart, even if involuntarily. And I also believe that if both sides really wanted to fix it, they would. And by fixing it, I mean, if there is a problem, you talk about it, you handle the situation, you address the problem, like directly and clearly as adults, instead of accumulating resentment and waiting for your peer to figure it out about it. So it requires, of course, emotional responsibility, but also intellectual maturity to be able to speak out. And it's this combination that can save or not a friendship.
Yeah, I do agree that accountability, individual responsibility, and emotional maturity, which is something not every person develops at the same time, are crucial to address any problems, disconnection, misalignments that you might have, and maybe like make the whole relationship and friendship evolve into better direction that it is in that very moment. Not everyone can be on the same page, so that is something that needs to be taken into account. And then if it doesn't work out, of course, like there's mutual part ways agreement. What about you, Sego?
I fully agree with the two of you. I think I did fight. I did lose friendship really stupidly when I was younger because I was stupid.
Adolescence.
You're stupid when you're younger.
Adolescence.
You're stupid.
They say, yeah, I mean, they say like it's the best time of your life, and then you're like, no, you do stupid things. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have the emotional maturity to, not take something the wrong way. You, in the teenager, you feel really bad about yourself. Your hormone is changing. You get your period, you get a cycle now. And you kind of have to get used to it, to this new image of yourself. And so, yeah, you say stupid stuff. Someone says stupid stuff to you. You're mad. And so, yeah. I do want to reconnect. I think I lost some of my friends, not because, just because, we moved city, we were busy, we made new friends, and we didn't contact each other. So I do want to reconnect with some of my new friends, but we didn't lost ourselves because of an argument, and we might renew the friendship, or because we changed so much we might not, but I do want to try it.
I hope like the try works out, because it sounded like you had a very close friendships, and maybe you want to rekindle not just based on memories, but also like on what potentially could become a lifetime long friend again, So I think it's very important to also have this attitude, this positive attitude towards the friends that we've lost.
I think so. The biggest issue is because we're not in the same country. It means that it will mostly be online, and it's not because our friendship worked because we saw each other a lot, but not online. We saw in real life each other. So I don't know how it will evolve online, because all of my old friends are in France. So I do want to reconnect with a lot of them. I'm gonna reach out to them. And we have a house in Ireland with a spare bedroom, so if they want to come in Ireland for a week, they can. So it was harder when we were living in Dublin because the house was small, but now we have space for people.
But eventually, I think you said you don't feel fully comfortable maintaining it online because you've always had this interaction in person. But what I used to do, I kind of would like to, although sending letters is expensive, but you could also sending letters or small postcards with a message.
Exactly.
And although it doesn't feel of course you have to wait for it to arrive, but I think it would be a nice idea to use the old means to continue the communication. And even though you cannot see each other that much because of physical distance and everyone has a busy life, I think that would be a much appreciated gesture.
Yeah, and it's even more thoughtful because anyone can get your phone, send a message, give a call. But it really requires a lot of effort. It's the gesture of saying, hey, I thought about you and I'm dedicating my time to write this postcard to you and send it to you specifically. I really love to receive and also send postcards. They're so cute.
So we're giving ideas also to our listeners that would want to rekindle a friendship or be more consistent with their long distance friends if they want to. So going back to the last question, I did have friends that I lost through the years, and I'm not sure if I regret losing this friendship all the time. So I did fell out of contact with quite a few people, both because of time and lack of investment in the relationship itself, as we mentioned before. And I'm usually the person that reaches out the most to people to make plans. So as soon as I accepted more proactive people in my life, I noticed I started to send less text messages and wanting to be more present in the moment with those people. And especially if distance, whether physical or emotional, was erasing whatever we had built over the years, I felt in some occasion I had to call those people out and argue with them because I feel like I was losing them. And to me was a really painful sensation, a very painful feeling to accept. And I feel like this is what nobody warns you about when you are growing up. The rapid changes that might occur, and that such friends you used to be close with might not care anymore. And I feel like adulthood comes with changing priorities, and if you are suddenly not one of them, you clash. So for me, I wasn't used to speak up, but thanks to so many kind people that have taught me the importance of standing up for myself, especially when I felt disrespected and mistreated, then I started doing it more and more. And I would say in the past 3 years or so, I closed some friendships fully. Some of them had been going on for years, others were quite recent. One person reached out again and we occasionally talk, but to be honest, I'm no longer emotionally invested in their lives, and I feel like I reply out of politeness, more of the memories of the friendship that we had, rather than the current versions of ourselves. And it feels weird, but I'm sure a lot of you can relate to it, especially if you had bad closures and you didn't feel aligned with the other person. maybe some of you would have not even replied, because what is the point? And sometimes I'm not sure if it's me that I'm lacking boundaries, or if I'm just being too attached to the past of what it once was. But here it is. So whether it is nostalgia or like misalignment, that's what happens. In some cases, not with every friends that I've lost, to be honest. Anything else to comment or to add, ladies?
Yeah, actually, I
that?
have one final thought. So, if you have a bunch of old friends and they are all great, but you're not that close to them anymore, I would like to imagine your circle of friends as a bus, okay? You will have friends that you are closer to, perhaps because of your profession, your hobbies, your goals, your interests, and so on and so forth. And that is fine. But you shouldn't discard an old friendship only because you don't have as much in common as you once had. Just reallocate the seats, like you don't need to hang out every single day. You don't need to call each other every single day, but dedicate some time to keep that bond alive, and that gave more time to those who you think perhaps align more with the values, your wants and needs. But never discard an old friendship if it's actually good.
It's not really something to add, it's more like a tips, because I feel like I have like friend from university and we talk quite often, but it's kind of always the same discussion. In French it's coucou, comment ça va? And we say yeah. And I was wondering, because the two of you seem so way better at me at adulting and being a proper adult.
It's just a facade.
And
I wouldn't
was
say so, but
wondering-
thanks. Keep going.
I was wondering do you keep the discussion not going in circle? Like, I don't know if it makes sense.
Like the same, like meaning that you argue about the same thing over and
No,
over.
we don't argue. We just ask the same question again and again. And I feel like we're doing small talk, basically, but I want to be more in-depth, but I don't know how to...
Great. So I have the perfect practical solution for you, which is go to literally the School of Life website. They have cards that I use. Schaida should remember which one are those, because I use them in Brussels. They cost a little bit, but in my opinion they're worth it, because they're meant to spark in-depth conversations. And so like you don't stay on the like how are you, or like I don't know, I did like listing all the things that I did like during the week, but you actually like get to know the person from a more recent perspective, like on how they're thinking now, and like thoughts that they might have not shared. And yeah, like this deck of cards was literally called Meeting Friends, if I'm not mistaken. And there was another one that was called Table Talk Conversations. And you can literally just fold the card. There are like 4 questions on each side. And you can play them at dinner time, lunchtime, whenever. Like you can bring them to a picnic, wherever you feel more comfortable. But I did use them both on the phone and like in person with some friends that were not living in the same place I was, and they enjoyed it. So if you are looking for more in-depth conversations, that would be a prop that I would suggest. I don't know if Schaida has any other props that she would like to bring up.
I have, and they're cheaper.
Yay!
Okay. Yay!
No, I'm joking. So perhaps anything you watch, you read, that marks you in a way, you can just share with the person and say, hey, I was listening to this song, I was watching this movie, and that made me remind me of add anything that relates to the person, can be a hobby, can be something you guys experience together, and then try to make a question. How do you feel about it? What does this song remind you? These kind of questions. Now, if you do want to invest money in this, I bought a notebook from Flying Tiger. I think I paid €2, €3 tops. And it's full of questions, and I try to answer at least one question every now and then. So it can be about anything, like what are your hobbies? What are your values? What friendship means to you? What love means to you? Those kind of questions that do not stay at the surface level. And honestly, they're great because it's a way to get to know yourself better and also the other person, right? Yeah, so those are my tips.
That depends on your budgeting, but I think, they're both
Exactly.
great
I'm
options.
gonna try the free version first, I'm not gonna lie.
Right, yeah.
Here you go, girl.
Yeah, no, makes sense. But either way, they're both questions, so games. So I think, it should be worth trying at least one time and see how it goes. Maybe, you discover more about your friends than you've ever known for the past 20 years.
Because I think it's one of the things that is really hard in friendship, in adulthood, and in friendship where you don't see each other as often. It's kind of weird to be vulnerable and to do in-depth conversation by text or by calls. Because you can't see the person, even if it's a video call, you can't see all the the non-verbal languages. And so my conversation are kind of always the same, and so I want to be a better friend, and I want to reach out like Silvia does. I think she does really well.
I think I'm a ambivert. Like, I don't reach out to people with the same frequency and with the same kind of level of intensity. So I'm more actually.
And I think it's normal. I mean,
yeah, but I do remember being a child and just, as I was mentioning in our episode about communities, like I was literally going to the children and say, hey, do you want to play together? Like, I just barely know them, I just was going there. So I mean,
I don't know, when we were kids it's just younger.
But
when when we were kids it's just easier.
Yeah. But I think spontaneity should be something that we should take into account. Thank you for your comments, suggestions, and reflection, ladies. And one final call to our listeners. So, dear listeners, we want you to know that we fully understand if you feel lost in your adulthood, and that your relationships will change, as you will too. But this discomfort, as we talked in our first episode, being comfortable with discomfort, will bring you new friends that you align with the most, and that will be your support people for many years to come. So don't forget, though, to cultivate also the most important relationship with a friend that will never leave you and should never leave you, yourself. Before we close our episode, don't forget to subscribe to our channels. And if you want to do a kind of small donation to our channel, you can find the link in our YouTube bio or in all our other platforms. That was all for today, and a warm hug, and see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.